What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick guide, I'll be showing you my go-to secret spots in Buried City to get the most amount of profit basically out of any map in this game very quickly. It's a small compact map with tons going on, and visiting just 3 locations can very comfortably leave you with 80,000 plus a couple of blueprints, some pinks, and of course, if you're bringing a friend or two with, you can all escape with probably just the same amount of money. There's an insane amount of loot in this run, especially if you come here at nighttime. There's also a 4th bonus place that I'll be showing you that you can also add to this quick route, although I completely forgot about it while testing. Either ways, if you're looking to make major profit in Arc Raiders, this is your guide. Do let me know if you like this kind of video, and I'll definitely be making more of them. Pulling up my interactive map on Buried City, scrolling down on the sidebar past the quests, you can see at the very bottom I've now added paths, including this run. This particular run takes place on the far south side of the map. If you happen to spawn anywhere on the southern side, be it here, or on the far east, this central path is a fantastic place to go. There are 4 particular spots we want to visit. The first is this unnamed building over here. Simply make your way to the 1st floor entrance, head up the stairs, and after heading up 2 flights of stairs, on this floor, you can see that there's a room that we can breach into. This room contains quite a bit of valuable loot and is basically always worthwhile visiting. 2 drawers, some bags, some more drawers here, and when you're done, hop out one of these 2 windows. It is a 3rd story drop, so just roll before you hit the ground. Heading east towards the Santa Maria houses, you'll need to make your way onto the roof. The easiest way is by heading it down here and making your way upstairs all the way until you're able to climb outside and onto this bridge. Then head up onto the roof and inside here. Alternatively, if you've got a snap hook, then I usually just run across from this building all the way around and shoot up here. Usually there'll be a bastion or bombardier roaming around here. If that's the case, maybe just shoot up onto the roof here and run across. Either ways, once you drop down through the roof hatches, search for the security locker and the drawers, sometimes a couple of bags, and then head down a floor by dropping down the zipline. Downstairs, you'll usually find a weapon case, some loose, valuable loot, and some more over here. I haven't got that listed, so I'll list it here. There we go. And of course, some drawers as well. Sometimes you'll find a grenade case spawning on the far side here, but that seems to be pretty rare. Instead, drop down through the railings, and on the bottom floor, you'll usually find a worn backpack, either here, under the stairs, or sometimes by the exit. There's 3 possible spawns for it, but it's not always here. There is also an ammo case, however, it's unlootable. Once you're done, make your way through the shutters and head all the way across down towards Plaza Rosa, where we'll likely be extracting. Over here, simply head up the stairs and either breach in through the 1st floor or snap hook up all the way up to the 3rd floor, where you can find your way in very easily from this window. The rest of these shutters are usually closed, and if you find them open, it means that this building has been looted. You might want to go elsewhere like the Red Tower. Once you find your way in through this upstairs window or through the 1st floor, make your way around inside and check out cupboards, drawers, and things like that, as there's tons and tons of valuable loot. On the 1st floor, there's 2 sets of small drawers on this side, and over here, heading up the stairs, some more over here on this wall, which usually has some pretty good stuff, and heading down here, a couple more drawers intermittently through this building. Usually you'll find quite a bit of loot inside of here. It is a very unknown sleeper spot, although you do come here for a quest earlier. Either ways, if you're heading west to east, the next place to go is of course the Plaza Rosa extract, but you can extract simply down here. That being said, if you're heading east to west instead, you'll start off at Plaza Rosa, and you'll most likely find your way in from above. So you'll run across, there's a jump here that you can do, and from the roof, you're able to drop down onto this windowsill right here. Once you do, you're able to loot this building, drop out one of the windows, across the Santa Maria houses, of course, back to the unnamed breachable doors over here, and of course, make your way out by the Raider hatch all the way over here. Alternatively, if you didn't bring a key, you'll need to head north towards most likely the Western Station here. That being said, there is also another pretty interesting spot that you can visit over on the west side here, which I didn't include in this testing as I completely forgot about it. When you're done looting this breachable building here, which I would recommend coming to first, make your way south and into this building over here. You're able to head in and upstairs where you're then able to jump from this second floor window all the way to the first floor on the other side over here. Inside of this spot, there's a couple of interesting things, including weapon cases, cupboards, sometimes medkits, ammo cases, drawers, etc. This building is one of the more known sleeper spots, as I've seen a lot of people make videos about it. That being said, this building, the Santa Maria houses, and the pharmacy are a fantastic 3 places to head basically for anything. I will bring a snap hook to make this a lot easier, but if you don't want to bring this with in a safe pocket, just make sure you bring a bunch of adrenaline shots and of course some basic meds. If you're heading in alone, you'll only be able to collect so much, which, through my thorough testing, has resulted in having to leave quite a bit of money behind. But you can very comfortably visit these 3 rooms with 1, even 2 teammates, especially if you're doing it at night, as there's so much valuable loot to go around. When I was doing my testing, I collected what was most likely the most valuable loot through these 3 places. I didn't visit the 4th hidden away one, which I will include in my little guide here. Completely forgot about it. Either way, you can very comfortably, consistently, as a solo, get about 70 to 80,000 per run. Here, I've spawned on the Far East, which is not a fantastic place to be, but I'll start off by heading towards the Plaza Rosa, which is the eastmost building in this run. If you spawn so late in the game, there'll usually not be a huge amount of loot left over, but that being said, these 3 places being mostly sleeper, you'll find that the pharmacy is often looted, Maria houses as well, but this 3rd spot and sometimes 4th spot are not at all. Since I spawned so far in the east, I'll also visit the Red Tower and maybe end off by the Grandioso Apartments if we don't end up with so much loot. For example, a late start, I'll hit the Red Tower, which you can either do by heading in this lower window here on the east side, or you can skip everything and get straight up. That's what I'll be doing here. I'll do the rat thing of moving my snap hook in and out of my inventory by placing it back in my safe pocket. You can see these drawers have been looted, but just below this ladder here, you'll oftentimes find, inside of here, some lockers and if you're lucky, an unlooted security breach. Of course, I'm far too late for this raid. Anyways, heading across from here, you'll usually be able to drop down and roll to keep yourself some HP. Heading straight southwest, we'll get our way to the pharmacy buildings, which are these over here. If you're coming from the east side, you can run over to this small jump here, across and onto the roof. From the roof, you can then head across and on the far side, you'll see that there's an open window up here. You're able to drop from the roof onto this balcony and grab it and get your way in. Otherwise, if you come from the bottom, you will need to breach this door over here. Inside, you'll usually find some loose loot, which is not too valuable, but there's some drawers here, which hasn't been touched in this case. Nothing too crazy. Behind this, we've also got some more drawers that can spawn in here. And if we head upstairs, on this 2nd floor, this is where the real loot begins. A couple more drawers. Further, we've got these 2 sets over here, sometimes a 3rd one that spawns, and in this back room here, a kitchen that's very useful to visit for a couple of cupboards and a drawer. Heading across behind us, some more drawers here, and once you're done with that, you've basically got everything from this building. There are sometimes another cupboard door over here, one over here, sometimes one over there, but these are just too far out of the way for our fast loot run. Especially important if you're trying to make tons of profit, you'll need to get around all of these places really quickly. You can either jump out from the 3rd floor or make your way down the stairs. Hopefully you're able to roll in time. Next, we'll be heading to the Santa Maria houses, which are these ones over here. We need to get up onto the roof where we can jump in through these doors. However, you can either run across and dodge a bastion or bombardier if there is one here and snap hook up there, or alternatively, there's an entrance in the wall over there. A 3rd way is heading up this building to the roof where there's always a zip line leading across. If you're like me, you'll borrow a snap hook and usually go up here, bang, and from the roof, we can take this zip line straight to these Santa Maria houses. When you find your way to the roof, make your way in through one of these doors here. If you happen to come up inside of this building using the hole I mentioned just now at the bottom here, make your way all the way up to this bridge. Then you're able to, from this bridge over here, jump up and onto the roof. This is a pretty well-known spot, but it's definitely not touched, at least most of the games that I come here. Heading inside, you'll find usually a suitcase or 2, some drawers and cupboards, and behind us usually a security locker here too. Dropping down the zipline, inside of here, if you're playing in a night raid, you can very reliably find some valuable loot over here on top of these chairs, and it seems like I've found something here. Now, behind us on the table at night, valuable loot here too, and moving through here, if there's not a weapon case on top of this couch or an ammo box up here. Inside of this next area here on our left, there's 2 couches that valuable loot can spawn on, as well as a couple of drawers. Once you've looted everything here, make your way down, though sometimes there's a turret above you, and from this bottom floor here, you'll see the unlootable ammo case, as well as 1, 2, this one actually spawned here, and 3, I think, right over here, possible locations for this worn backpack to spawn. While it's usually not filled with crazy loot, there's sometimes some pretty good stuff in there. I'll then exit through the south side here, which takes us straight to the courtyard where the bombardier sometimes is. Now heading west towards this building here, we'll need to run basically straight across there, avoiding a bombardier if there is one. This might be fun. Over here is the unnamed building that I'm speaking about. There's a window over here that you can actually snap hook up to, or alternatively on this far left side here, one up there. If you don't have a snap hook, you'll need to head across to the bottom side over here, make your way in and upstairs. There's 2 flights of stairs here. As those shutters were open, this room is most definitely looted, and we didn't get much in this run as we spawned so horrendously late. There are 2 different doors that can be breached, one on the west side here and one on the north side over here. It's always worthwhile quickly sprinting to check to see if the other one's already opened, as if it is, well, there's probably no more loot inside here. This is the most annoying building as there's oftentimes these head crabs spawning in here, but besides them, there's drawers immediately to the right from the north entrance, sometimes a suitcase or 2, a cupboard, worn backpack, sometimes a backpack spawns over here, and on the far side, a cupboard followed by 2 sets of drawers, and these are usually the crown treasure of this room. When we're finally done here, you can head out the south door and make your way down. Just remember to roll in time. I need some more practice on that. Immediately to your right along this way is this entrance that we spoke about earlier, the Talia houses, which if we head inside here, we can make our way upstairs. Sometimes this dumpster spawns, you can loot that. Inside here to your left and up on this second floor, there's just more stairs here, which will head up, and immediately at top of this, you'll see a window on the other side. This is exactly where we're making the jump across here and in. Just make sure to try and grab the ledge if you miss it, and inside of here is one of the most, I would think, publicized secret room. There's some fantastic drawers, sometimes a suitcase or 2, cupboard, and in this far room here, sometimes a few cupboard doors, a drawer that can spawn here, a weapon case, and that's pretty much it for this room. Sometimes there's an ammo case sitting behind this couch in the corner, and sometimes a weapon case in here too. Obviously, I'm incredibly unlucky and everything this raid has been looted. That's an absolutely terrible pull to show you how things have been going, but here are my other runs through my testing, where I did 8 runs in the night, 8 in the day, and as it was the prospecting probes event, I did 8 more just to verify that minor map conditions don't have any effect. And quite surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, the night raid was the most profitable when all of these places were unlooted. That being said, they were all incredibly busy as there's so many people running around collecting loot, as usually during major events like night raids, more containers spawn, which generally means more loot. If there's 2 or 3 people playing in your team, then coming at night is basically the only time that you can make a huge amount of profit, as my testing was only me, and of course I had to leave a ton of loot behind, as even with a level 3 looting augment, you won't be able to pick up everything. You'll be swapping out low valuable loot for preferably valuables or trinkets. Anything with this icon is usually worth a lot more than anything else at its color range. And of course upgrading colors too, placing the most valuable items inside of your backpack, usually snow globes, mixtapes, and blueprints. I also managed to find a ton of Vita spray as well. Now prepare yourself for a data flashbang. This is what I've been working with. All 3 of my 8 runs are listed out here. This one's marked as red as it's the only run that I made to that 4th room. And I've got things listed here as 1, 2, 3 being all the way on the south, the first building, this hidden away building here, 2 being the Santa Maria houses, 3 being the Plaza Rosa pharmacy, and 4 being the little jump room here. So that 4th jump room I only visited once, based on everything else just visiting 2 of these buildings, as especially during the night raids, there was almost always someone at the 3rd place I visited, but you can very easily cover all 3 of these buildings within 5 minutes of the raid if you're solo with a snap hook. You can usually cover 2 of them if you're solo without a snap hook, but still it's incredibly profitable. In just less than 5 minutes visiting 2 of these rooms, you can very easily make yourself at least 70-something grand. In the other raids that didn't go so well, I either spawned late, someone else was there, or of course I was just generally unlucky. Overall, through 8 runs, 6 of them I survived, and 5 of them I didn't spawn late. I earned a total of 337,000, with an average of the successful runs of around 63k. Not bad at all for being solo, especially as I definitely did not have anywhere near enough space. That being said, if you come as 2 people or even 3, you'll very easily make this amount of money between each of you. Then through the prospecting probes event, while I expected this to be about the same as daytime, I was very easily able to visit all 3 of these rooms when I tried to in every single run, as nobody was going for them. Once again, through every successful run, I comfortably made at least 84k each, which is quite surprising as the average is just a little bit above the night raid. However, of course, as I visited more buildings, I guess I just found more pinks and purples than I did during the night raid, where I just filled up with a ton of blue loot and the 3rd room had people in it already. You can see over here, with my notable loot, I grabbed a couple mixtapes, snow globes, Vita spray, PE cloaks, and especially blueprints through a lot of the night raids. However, I, in this particular test, was far more successful during the prospecting probes event, which had quite a few mixtapes, snow globes, Vita spray, PE cloaks, and blueprints as well, especially, which was rather surprising. Though I would expect, if you make your way through a lot of these buildings, all 3 of them, you'll likely find more success at nighttime looking for blueprints. Finally, normal day raids. I expected to be far worse, and they most definitely were, as throughout every single one of these runs, I comfortably visited usually 2 rooms, and the 3rd one had people in it just like night raids. Oftentimes, most of the rooms were already looted, and I only managed to make just 1 of the rooms. Day raids netted me an average of around 47 grand, so throughout my testing, the most successful time was the prospecting probes event, which was rather surprising compared to nighttime. That being said, if you're going to be doing this run with friends, I definitely recommend night, as you're oftentimes going to end up with just a bit more loot by the end of it. As well, a couple of other notable finds. During the night, I found 2 keys through 8 raids. Prospecting probes, I found 3, 2 of which I got in a single raid. And of course, during the day raids, I got absolutely 0 keys, which was quite surprising. In these runs as well, you can oftentimes find a bunch of wolf packs lying around, purple, high-value weapon mods like lightweight stocks, horizontal grips, Exodus modules, and things like that. And in one of them, I even found a Bettina, which was during the prospecting probes event, I'm pretty sure from inside of the security locker in the Santa Maria houses. During day raids, I basically didn't find any attachments. There were more wolf packs lying around than anything. But of course, these tests are not conclusive. However, I did want to be a lot more thorough than just a generic YouTuber being like, hey, here's 3 places you can go and visit. I actually ran around and collected some data. And of course, if you think you can do better, I'd highly recommend checking out my interactive map, creating an account, right-clicking and choosing a new path where you can very easily suggest a couple of different places to visit, where by the end of it, other people can find use from your path as well. But yeah, do let me know if you like this new type of video. Of course, I'll be doing a couple more of these, as you'll usually make a ton of money real quick, which can help with preparing for PvP, playing with friends, and of course, things like the projects where you'll need quite a few valuable items, and eventually for the actual character reset, maybe we'll see another currency goal where you'll need to have 5 mil, maybe 10 mil, etc. to get a couple more skill points next season. But anyways, do let me know what success you find with this run, especially what kind of fancy blueprints you find and things like that, as this is usually my go-to profit run. If worst comes to worst and you spawn in late on the Buried City map, I'd usually just check the hospital, maybe space travel, and leave through the northern station. Spawning on the far northwest, the library is the only other place I know of going for some easy loot before extracting. This south side of the map is incredibly dense in terms of buildings, but also loot. Do let me know what you think of this run down below. Hopefully you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. Do leave a like, subscribe. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.